Alright, into Golden Pack, and having completed all the Turtle Pack achievements, I had a quick look through the other packs to see which pets I was missing, and I was kind of surprised to see that I don't have level 3 Manatee in Golden. So that's what we're going to go for here. We sell a bunch of opossums onto Weasel, just on standard stuff. But I didn't want to just, keep the Manatee as per usual and play Crane behind it to get it Melon. I'm sure that would probably be the easiest way by far to get the achievement. So instead what we're going to do is try and combine this with another build that I'd had on my list for a long time. I think I mentioned it back when I did a video on hard mode in Golden. I'll try and link that video in the description if I can find it. But the idea is to feint a level 3 Manatee and resummon it with pteranodon. So obviously, if you have a level 3 Manatee, you don't want it to feint because you've invested so much into it and you're getting a lot of stats per turn. But with the pteranodon, you can actually have the Manatee just feint and it will come back as a 1-1. So I thought that would be kind of amusing to get the achievement with a 1-1 unit in the team. And here I'm picking up the Falcon because I want something that is a decent target for the Manatee to actually buff. And then in the late game we can look for some of the other tier 6 units that benefit. They have abilities that scale based on their own stats. So Warthog, German Shepherd, Highland Cow. I guess Fire Ant is one on tier 5 as well, although you rarely see Fire Ant being used. I guess, when you've got access to Warthog on the tier above, it does seem a little bit pointless. So while we wait for the Manatee to show up, just a little bit of housekeeping. There have been a few comments asking about Canary Pack. It's been probably a month at this point since I did the last video. So tier 6, yeah, it's been a long wait. I'm very sorry it's taken so long, but it's just such a long, complicated edit that it's very difficult to find time to squeeze it in when I'm also uploading normal videos. I guess I could have just stopped uploading normal videos, but I think most people probably prefer the arena content anyway. But don't worry, if you are one of those people waiting for the tier 6 video, it is coming very soon. I've done about 2/3 of the edit. I just need to record some example clips, and then we should be good to go. But in the meantime, we have found our Manatee, and I give it potato immediately, just to try and make sure that it stays alive long enough for me to get it to level 3 in the first place, because we don't want it fainting before we find that pteranodon. I guess realistically I probably could have found a potato later on, but probably I was doing that based on a previous run where I ended up failing to find any way to keep the Manatee alive at the last minute. So yeah, the one problem with potato is you can get into a situation where it becomes impossible for the Manatee to faint, where you've kept it alive too long. It's ended up getting buffs from other units, like I bought the blue-ringed octopus here. And then, you're only a couple of wins away from the end, and your Manatee still needs to hit itself 3 times to faint. So and of course also whenever you buy another Manatee from the shop, you're going to end up being on 12 health anyway. But it's still very annoying when you find that first Manatee and then you go too many turns without finding the second one, and you have to start over from scratch with a level 1. So we find a Warthog here. I'm going to immediately start buffing it, and then I think I'm actually probably just going to spend all the chocolates on the Manatee to get it to level 3 as soon as possible, and then we can worry about the equipment if we need to keep it alive. Falcon copies the slug. And I'm not sure what's going to happen here. I think we are going to end up copying the Nyala because it gets so much health that the guinea fowl can't kill it. So we actually get a level 2 Nyala of our own. Falcon just creates the most interesting battles, I think, where it's very difficult to tell at first glance if you're actually going to win or not. So we'll buy sell this oyster just to give us some extra chances to find the Manatee levels. Okay, I'm actually going to spend a chocolate on the warthog. Kind of surprising because it is also better to give chocolate to the manatee rather than buying another manatee, so that the health doesn't actually end up refilling. Now, I did have a fig on the falcon, which is going to result in one of the triggers being wasted there because it got a knockout at start of battle. We are kind of in danger of winning a little bit too quickly here. We still have 3 manatees or chocolates to find. Okay, we are going to replace the fig on the falcon. And there's a manatee. Of course, as I buy it, we go back up to 12 health. So 3 more turns in order for it to faint. So yeah, really would be nice to just find 2 more chocolates now so we don't have to worry about that. This looks like a pretty strong team. Level 3 baboon plus monkey as well. And we're going to get a bit of a back and forth here with the falcons, I think. Yeah, we end up copying a guinea fowl. Would have been nice to copy something a little bit better. But luckily the warthog actually one-shots the falcon. And I think it's going to be a tie, so that is actually perfect. Because that extends the game, gives us more time to get things set up. Find the chocolate, so we just need 1 more. And then the pteranodon as well. And I think, okay, I am going to go for the level up on the blue-ringed octopus. At 10 health, it doesn't actually matter. We just don't want to push the manatee's health any higher than it already is. And then we'll go for the level up on the weasel, mainly just to hope for getting the pteranodon that way. Opposing warthog, a bit more conventional having it at the front. And we instant kill the guinea fowl. I think the falcon has copied a guinea fowl like 3 or 4 times now, or 3 or 4 separate battles. So that one is a win. So now we're on 8 trophies. We take the level up, we don't find the pteranodon, so we're relying on the oyster gold to help us find one. Because the manatee, okay, the manatee's not going to faint now that we find the extra chocolate. And now we are in position for the faint next turn. So I think, yeah, I'll just feed the falcon this apple on turn 13. Not the greatest value for 3 gold. But the warthog's attack is getting pretty high as a result of the manatee buffs. Of course, with a 1 health stat line, the manatee is going to get one shot by opposing fig. And I think here we are going to refill the stats on the falcon, but it's not going to be enough. Yeah, they have the silver fox pita bread left over. But now we can actually see the combo working. So the manatee will faint in the shop, the pteranodon will replicate it and move it to the back as a 1-1. And luckily here we get a nice sequence where we get pita bread plus the chocolate for the warthog. And there you go, manatee comes back with a 1-1 stat line. I guess it's kind of useful in that it, as you can see there, it draws the snipe from the fig. And hopefully a lot of the attack that we've gained, actually this is a T-disc with the fancy crown from winning the weekly brawl. Or maybe that was from another tournament, but I think that's what you get for winning the weekly brawl. So now our minimum stats manatee only needs 1 more trophy for the ribbon. And I think we are going to get very close to 50 attack on the warthog. Not a whole lot I can do to actually improve the team at this point. Maybe just take the durian on the weasel. And then we'll buy a pretzel, although it's only plus 2/2 because the weasel is tier 3. And there we go, 50 attack on the warthog. Manatee comes back to life. And it's actually a rare nurse shark team. Now, what is the nurse shark going to hit here? Level 2, it instant kills the falcon and the pteranodon, but the 1-1 manatee receives all the stats from the warthog, which is kind of fitting, and it clears up the rest of their squad. So there we go, 1 more golden pack ribbon done, hopefully in a bit of an atypical manner. Now there are some other things you can do with this. Here's what I originally wanted to do. We've got a German Shepherd in position with the high attack so that when the manatee gets resummoned, it will actually gain a bunch of attack from the German Shepherd. The problem is with only a 1 health, it's basically guaranteed to get hit by fig. There are so many people playing fig that, and of course you can't put potato on it because then it won't faint itself for the resummon in the first place. Now it is a bit awkward here with the pteranodon. Ideally we would want the resummoned Manatee to be very close to the front so that it has a chance to actually attack instead of being sniped by a Cobra or something. But because the pteranodon will always summon the Manatee behind it, the best we can do is putting it second. And I think I'd rather have the higher attack Weasel at the front, and we'll just end up compromising by putting the Manatee fourth. And of course, German Shepherd's already on 50 attack, so we'll just give the stats to the pteranodon. And we need to keep the pteranodon in case we end up drawing. But of course, we face a money build. These are just running rampant in Golden Pack at the moment. So we're going to easily lose. I think if we had one more summon there, maybe another slug instead of Weasel, we might have been okay. But it wasn't to be. Now the other thing you can do with this combo is have the Manatee faint in front of a muskox. Now in the olden days you would have got permanent stats for doing that, but nowadays it's only temporary. So you'd have to have the Manatee faint in front of the muskox every single turn to actually get the same benefit. So yeah, not the best, but it is something else you can try if you want to use this combo. Now I wanted to include this clip because although I didn't find the Manatee, something interesting does happen here. We faced this Beluga team, very similar lineup with the German Shepherd and the Wolf. But what is inside the Beluga? Because it's going to be something atypical, and it's actually Egyptian Vulture. So they end up spawning 2 pigs by triggering the Wolf's ability. Very fun to see that. I'm not sure I've ever faced anyone who put Egyptian Vulture inside the Beluga. But unfortunately our Retriever here doesn't have quite enough to get the knockout, so it's an honourable draw instead. But we might as well show the final battle here since we're on turn 17, 9 trophies. And here we cycle the Slug. Definitely worth it. You know, you don't need a higher level Slug. You might as well just buy sell to get the temporary attack from the German Shepherd. And it's actually the exact same opponent, completely different team, but same person. And the fleas are going to overwrite their pita bread. Not sure if it made any difference there. With the high attack summons, I think we are going to one-shot anyway. And it's just wolf versus wolf at the end. And this time we get the better of them. So GG's to Pill Hedgehog, great username. That was definitely very fun to see Egyptian Vulture come out of a Beluga.